Good morning, I'm Lynn and welcome to another day at Ewetopia Farms. Listen to that. You can probably hear a tractor, maybe that's the skid steer, and the sheep buying, but what we can really hear is the little songbirds. Today's a lot warmer and there's no wind, so it feels a lot nicer, and I find if I come out of the house and the birds are chirping like that, I know it's going to be a warmer day. Anyway, let's go inside and see what's happening in there today. Well, you know what that is? It's a pail with water in it, and it looks like it's in a jug because it isn't over yet. We had these guys when I was doing bottle feedings last night. Go in and see who they are. Hi, Mommy. Can we have a peek at your lammies? Can we have a peek? Way in there. You can't see them. You can't even see Mommy, basically. Mommy. Anyway, she has 2 ewe lambs. So she's the only one in the jug. She has lots of milk. She's doing great with them. They've all found the underfeeder cave here and are liking that. So, yeah, it's not over yet. They're going to be coming in sporadically, but they're still coming in. Good morning, you guys. Good morning. You guys hungry? Oh yeah, you look hungry. I'm a little late today because I got a little motivation to do some vacuuming in the house before I came out this morning. One thing about not getting any of your housework done in the past few weeks, months, is that when you do vacuum, it feels like it's an awful lot cleaner. You can see the difference. These guys are finishing off their bottles. Some are in the little creek area there. That one sounds empty, buddy. One of them has decided that if he lays in the feeder here, he can really relax and chew his cud. No one to bother him. These are all the slowpokes. Taking forever to have their lambs. Look at that face. What are you doing? Eh? Is that yummy? One of the late ones is Cammy here. Cammy, this is your first lambing and you're going to be really late about it. She was in with Geronimo, and at first we thought she wasn't bred, but you can tell by her body that she's pregnant because she's really getting fat. And she's got the tiniest of little udders starting to show. So she is pregnant. She's just going to be a bit later. Usually moms lay with their lambs when they're taking their break. So when they're not, you kind of do a double take. This is the ewe that we just let out the other day, who we bought at the Classic, and she has the single ewe lamb. But once they're calm and relaxed in the family groups, they will let their lambs go off and be independent. So you can see her lamb. It's the only white one in here, so that one's really easy to pick out. She's lying by a straw bale over there. And just a second ago, before that ewe came in, there was a Suffolk laying with her too. But in the beginning, the moms would be a little freaked out if the lambs weren't immediately with them. But now they're all relaxed and getting along and aren't too concerned. They will call them in when they need to nurse them, though. Oh my God! Not Arnie. It's Sunny.
Really? It's not me?
Look.
What?
I came in the barn and I just walked out and there's blue sky. I didn't even know that existed anymore.
The soaking the vitamin, is it E or D?
D. Yeah, we need vitamin D. So on nice days, like today, we're starting to let the lambs come out and wander around while we're doing chores. We're gonna rotate white group and Suffolk group. And I can see that today it's the white group. Hi, fellas. What do you think? There's sunshine. It's a miracle. A miracle of all miracles. Oh, I forgot there's those small ewes that can get in the creep area. She's out here too. It's a little stifling in here. Maybe we'll get Arnie to open the curtains a bit. We got sheep and snowbanks. Nibbling away at the snow. And then Arnie's going to be putting some hay out. So there's some back here at the hay bales. Yeah, and this bale here is a rotten bale. Why would you guys be at a rotten bale? Come on, that's a rotten bale. You can't tell that. There's a reason we didn't feed it to you guys. There's a reason we didn't feed that one. Go to the good one. There's a good bale right there. Go on. That's it. This is the bad bale. Come on. You guys are supposed to be smarter than that. How you doing? Hi, Mommy. Hi. Right there. This guy's decided to be the mountain climber in the group. She's got really nice posture. Arnie's working in his shop. That startled him a little bit.
So it's 4 o'clock, it's Arnie, and yes, I'm going to make a little short video of feeding the sheep. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm doing the night feeding, which I do every night, and Lynn's in making supper. And I'm going to have a little discussion here when I'm done feeding, and the noise is down a little bit. I'm going to feed everything tonight. It takes me about 30 to 40 minutes to feed all the sheep. We have, with the ewes, we probably have 4, 5, 6, 7. We could have about 700 lambs, sheep here on the farm right today as we speak, counting all the lambs. So It is a lot of sheep, but there's no one lambing right now. Just a little bit left over, about 30 sheep left over that could be still lambing, and they're finished up. But Lynn should be talking to you about this. But I'm going to mention it, and maybe Lynn can put a few remarks in. So I think we're almost done lambing. So we probably should have a little talk about how we prevented from bad lambing, ewes that can't have lambs, that have difficult time lambing. So we pretty well have that ironed out, and we should have a discussion about that, what we're picking for to prevent ewes from having difficult lambing, because difficult lambing is going to wear you down, and it's going to make you depressed when you have a sheep that can't have a lamb, because the lamb is either too big and the ewe just can't function with that lamb, of giving birth to that lamb. So, just going to make it real short here, because Lynn told me to make it short. I think about 70% of our ewes had their babies during the daylight hours. 30 to 35% of the ewes had babies in the evening hours, and I'm saying evening, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning is quite common. I'm thinking about all the ewes we delivered. We probably had about 30 to 35 of those ewe lambs were born backwards that had help delivering the lambs, which is understandable because backwards lambs always need a little bit of help to be birthed. So I'd say 30 to 35 lambs were born backwards. There was no difficult birth at all, to my knowledge. Every ewe had no problem having the lambs, whether I was there and helped them a little bit or not. Every ewe had a lamb. We didn't really have any severe birthing problems. I would say about 20 to 30 lambs had a leg backwards, or we had to set the lamb up to get the lamb out, but that wasn't a birthing problem where the lamb was too big and the mother couldn't have the lamb. The lamb just wasn't in the right position. So I say about maybe 30 or 35 of those lambs were born that way, where they had one leg was maybe backwards. I think we had 3 lambs that the head fell down and the feet were coming out, but so I had to get the head back up in the right position. I think 3 of them were like that. So we had pretty good luck. Those are kind of the numbers. Now we didn't have any mothers at all that we would consider that had a real bad birth. It's hard to say. So I think we started lambing just before Christmas, and you can look at these lambs here. See those 2 big white ones there? They're probably running about 60 to 70 pounds already. It's unbelievable how fast these sheep grow. White sheep don't grow quite as fast as the Suffolks. The Suffolks actually gain more weight per day. But these Dorsets really, I'm a little surprised that some of these Dorsets might have gained a pound a day. In my past, that wasn't really common. But I seem to be, we're changing the breed a little bit. And maybe we're getting more meat on the Dorsets where they're gaining a little more weight. Which the Suffolks can gain easily a pound a day. And you can see they're well on the grain. So this was the first barn we filled up. And as we speak now, I'm going to pull these mothers completely off the grain here shortly. The lambs are eating well on their own. And so I'm going to pull these ewes off the grain completely because I want these ewes to get sucked dry, that there's no bag or other mastitis problems, that when I pull the lambs off, the mothers don't have milk left. I want the mothers to be out of milk. So real shortly, I think these ewes are going to be right off the milk, off the grain. Sorry about that. I missaid that. So we're going to kind of start drying them up. It actually is quite surprising how fast your life disappears, how fast the whole trend goes, and how fast you go back into it again. So that's just a little story. Lynn told me to keep it short, so I probably talked too long already. You see that Dorset right there walking right there in the center? I'm going to guess that Dorset is probably about 60 to 70 pounds. Quite heavy for Dorsets, I find. But I'm pretty happy with the breed. So I'm going to cut this off right now. I'm going to head to the other barn. I could just show you for a second. I'll make it real short. Little girls. So we were debating whether we were going to do a spring breeding group on the Dorsets again. These are the group that always breed out of the season. They're probably our most healthiest group of sheep we have. They're extremely vigorous. They breed real easy. There's about 75 here, and we have a bunch of first-time Dorset lambs in the back we might throw in. So we might have about 100 we're going to breed here in March. We weren't going to do it. We were debating that, but I think we're going to do it because we have too many sheep in the winter months. So these guys have been propped up pretty hard. When I say propped up, I mean they've been grain-fed. They've got the conditions back on. They're in prime shape to get bred. So yeah, we're going to get them sheared off here in a few weeks, and we're going to introduce a ram to them. And these lambs here, it's hard to believe it, but these lambs are only about 4 months old, 4.5 months old. They're actually quite a good size already. I'm going to guess that these lambs are weighing in at around 100 and I'm thinking about 160 pounds, 50 pounds maybe now. Some people might attempt to breed them here shortly. I'm 4.5 months old. I'm totally not going to breed them. I don't believe in letting my teenage daughter go out and get married at 13. So this is not going to happen. But I'm really happy with this too, and I think Lynn is too. And the sheep at the back, you can't see them, are the sheep that were born they're yearlings at the back there. So those Dorsets at the very back will probably be thrown in to this breeding group. First time Dorset ewe lambs, most of the time won't really breed out of season the first year, but we're going to throw them in there. And if they catch, you catch. And if they don't, it's no problem. We'll just give them a little bit of time off, and they can probably catch next fall. So I'm going to cut this off short here, because I think I'm talking too much right now. And I'm going to feed this group, and I'm going to head in for supper. I'll talk to you shortly. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll probably have a talk about why we think we had no lambing problems at all. I think it's something that people maybe were interested to hear about. Our theory, anyhow, it's not that I'm a professor or anything, but I'm just thinking we had no lambing problems at all, and we should probably talk about it. So these are lambs that were born. These would be yearlings now. So these are 12 to 13 months old. And we're probably going to throw these Dorsets into the spring group here in March to see if they'll cycle. Without seeders, do it natural. We have real good luck with that. And the Suffolks, we're going to have to wait until August. Suffolks don't breed that well unless you're using seeders and stuff, I think. So I'm extremely happy with the crop of lambs we had this year. Now these were hand-picked from several hundred sheep. I mean, you make mistakes because you're picking lambs, but we hand-picked these. These are the ones we kept back. Probably the best lambs I've ever produced, and Lynn and I. Gotta give Lynn credit for that too, because she's my partner. So these are the sheep here. I was gonna discuss this earlier. So these sheep had lambs all in the fall. The marks are still on them, and their lambs are up the front there on the right-hand side. And it's hard to see it. They're going to be showing off, But they've been getting about 2 pounds of grain for the last month and a half, 2 months here, because I want to have them in prime shape for having lambs and getting bred. And you can see, so without feeling the sheep, I tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a shape on the sheep. You see the back of that sheep? You see how there's no part in the wool right down the backbone? When you see that part, you know they're in a little bit poor shape. But see how those sheep are all round? They're all round. I'm going to show you one that's missing condition. Well, I might have a hard time finding one here. These sheep have really put a lot of weight back on. These probably have put on about 30 or 40 pounds of weight. They're in prime shape to get bred back. Okay, there's one there. Well, you can see when she moves, you see that backbone, how that hair splits a little bit in the center? So she, for some reason, doesn't have the correct amount of weight on her. It could be a number of reasons. But anyways, I guess my moral of the story is these guys are right primed to go. And they're going to be getting a ram, I guess, shortly. In the next few weeks. So we're going to breed about, I think we're going to breed about 100 of them, unless we sell some of them. We have a couple people that were looking for some ewes, and we might part with some of them. But I'm talking too much, Lynn says already. I can just hear her in the kitchen, so I'm going to shut this off and I'm going to quit talking. Yeah, it's actually a little hard to find that Shetland in there, isn't it? The little Suffolk lambs are almost as big as that Shetland. So I think I'm going to go in and see how Lynn's making up with supper. And that's it for my composition. Bye.